I'm back. Okay, now setting is sorted. Okay, cool. We are back. President still isn't talking. I know he's only going to talk at 7:30. I know that, guys. But thank you all so much for the messages and the messages of encouragement. It's greatly appreciated. So yeah, thank you, Eleutheria, for the reminder. Let me quickly. I need to make someone else an admin. Hint of this Telegram channel. Just saying, because I can't always keep up with this stuff. So yeah, just give me a moment, guys. Gonna quickly just do this. Oh wait, there it is. Okay, share, copy. There we go. Everybody's watching me do this on my Telegram. By the way, if you're not subscribed to the Telegram channel yet, please do, because then you get notifications of all the upcoming uploads and live streams. So yeah, there you go. Like I said, I'm not that good at being on point, but I try. You'll definitely hear about stuff, which is cool. Already 100 subscribers, which is pretty cool. I'm like, there's 100 people that like what I do. There you go. So yeah. There we go. Cool. Now that that's over and done with, I love a bev or behave ball. How do you pronounce? I'm sure that's a word. That has to be a word. I know it's behaves. Boss. Is the 3 supposed to be like a B, and the 0 is like an O? What's the 7? Behaves boss. Maybe? I don't know. Lishan, hello. Thank you so much for tuning in. It's great for you to be here. Yanni's way too excited about it. Okay. So cool. So as we discussed in the previous stream, we know that gatherings are going to be affected. We know probably curfew is going to be affected, and the big question is alcohol ban. And I'm hoping that it doesn't get affected, but we never know. And you know what? My question is, for how long? That's another thing. People like somebody earlier said 2 weeks. I think it was Amy who said 2 weeks. 2 weeks, that seems a bit much. Even the dogs are upset about this. I don't know if you guys can hear the dogs in the background. They are upset that Cyril's about to talk in about 6 minutes. They know it's coming. Dylan Cambrick in the house. Nice to see you here, buddy. Sister dishes it right back at you. Yassine J1 saying, hi, Joe. I'm not even sure that Squirrel is going to shock the nation with this time. I'm not even sure what. Yeah, we don't know. We don't know. And that's the thing. Like 2 weeks, like really, does it need to be 2 weeks? Let me see. Jeremy behaves. See, I got the first part right. Behaves 307, 30 minutes every 7 days. I like that. Yo, I'm behaves on the 307. Is that like how it said? Sorry. I'll never do that again. So yeah. Do you think you'll be on time? I don't know. That's a question we always ask, isn't it? It's like, it's what do you think that whenever somebody talks about the stream or his speech, it's always, what do you think he's going to say, and do you think he's going to be on time? And is he going to be standing or sitting? Because we all know if he's standing, it's bad news. If he's sitting, we're good. We're good. Nothing to worry about, people. Well, then again, there's always something to worry about. I don't know if you guys heard, but apparently ANC has secured 30 million vaccine doses from J&J. 30 million. So that's half of the population. Whether or not it's going to get here and whether or not by the time it gets here it's going to be expired is a whole nother story. We don't know. We don't know. But we will see in the near future. I don't know. Probably going to be like, I don't know. Probably arrive and it'll be like, it expired yesterday, people. Oh, shucks. Yeah. Eleutheria dropping some facts and saying 30 million is enough to vaccinate everyone over 18. Okay. That's an interesting fact. How many of them will be rejects? Yeah, we don't know. We don't know. We don't know. Hey, losers, what's up? From Reese Vanderfault. It's like the whole Vanderfault family is here in the stream. It's great. Where's mom? Where's dad? Tell them to join. Speaking of which, tell your friends to join as well. Be greatly appreciated. Yeah. Other than that, ladies and gentlemen, we wait. And I think, what if they changed it though? What if it's no longer this stream? Nah, it will be that stream. Why would they just change it, right? Let's see. Let's see if anybody else. I almost had a heart attack. I saw another, but it's an old one. I don't see anyone else scheduling it, so I'm gonna stick with SABC. Do we have time? I want to try something. This is great. I don't think it's gonna work though. Okay, so I'm gonna show this now. This is gonna be funny. Okay, actually, yeah, I've got a bit of time. Should I do it now? I don't know. Let's do it quickly. Let's do it very, very quickly. Let's see what Ronaldo is talking about. Huh? How much do you guys want to bet? He's talking about, please give me money. Please super chat. Let's make that happen. I used, okay. Come on. Which one is it? I get confused. That's not the one. Okay, never mind. I'm not going to do it because it's not showing up. Damn it. I was really hoping I'd catch him in the action. You know what I mean? Saying, check out my merchandise, you know? Anyway, doesn't matter. Maybe I'll do it after the speech. If you're all good, we'll do that. Anywho, it's boom. Get rid of that. Cool. And we were asking, is he going to be on time? It is 1 minute. 1 minute until he's supposedly going to chat to us, ladies and gentlemen. Will he be on time? For those of you that are new, please subscribe to the channel. It'd be greatly appreciated. And don't forget to use the super chat function. It goes a long way in supporting this channel. It'd be greatly appreciated. There's other ways that you can support this channel as well. Links in the description below. So yeah, we're just gonna hear what the president has to say for South Africans. So yeah. And I'm not very optimistic. I gotta admit, I'm not very optimistic. It's not like he's gonna come out and say like, "Hey guys, false alarm. You get Easter. You didn't get it last year. You get it this year. How about that? Here's a freebie. Here's a boner." He's not gonna do that. Here's a bone, not a boner. That would be weird. Don't know why I said that. That's weird. But yeah. Again, going back to, are we going to have an alcohol ban for 12 or 14 days? I don't see that happening, guys. I don't see that happening. So yeah. It's going to be difficult to pass that by. Cyril going to tell us again how bad we have behaved. Probably. But has anyone checked out the numbers? Like, honestly, has anyone checked out the numbers? They're not rising as badly as they say they are. Even like the alcohol thing, right? Now I know that ANC will do what they like. I know that. Okay. But in an article that I read, okay, the ANC was getting a bit of they're warned. They're warned that if they do an alcohol ban, that the SABC and all these big alcohol companies are going to take the. Oh, here we go.
The Office of the Tax Ombudsman is here to help.
I can skip it in 2 seconds.
We are an.
Fellow South Africans, good evening. We decided to delay the start of this address to the nation by half an hour because a legend of South African broadcasting, Miss Noxolo Grootboom, was tonight presenting her last isiXhosa bulletin at 7 p.m. on
how
SABC
nice of you.
News this evening. And many people felt that they wanted to watch her last bulletin and asked that we delay so that they can watch her. I wish to pay tribute to Ms. Grootboom.
He's standing.
As an outstanding journalist who, throughout her 37 years of distinguished service, brought historic events in our country and across the world into the living rooms of our nation.
Is that like a signal?
We wish Ms. Grootboom well and thank her for her many years of service.
That's what I thought. I think like 2 people watched.
Abantu abaninzi apha eMzantsi Afrika bayakuthanda. Nam futhi ndiyakuthanda. It is now just over a year since we declared a national state of disaster in response to COVID-19 and had to introduce measures to contain its spread. Since then, we had to put up with restrictions on nearly every aspect of our lives as South Africans. What has perhaps been most difficult of all is how the pandemic has affected the social interactions that make us feel as a people to be part of a community. We miss the many things we once took for granted, like being able to visit our loved ones, go to a party, or to attend religious services. 1 year later,
thanks to
we've
you,
made significant progress in bringing the pandemic under control. The tireless efforts of our healthcare workers and many other frontline workers have saved many thousands of lives. And the pioneering work of our scientific community has led to significant advances in our understanding of this virus. Through the changes that we have all made to our personal behavior, we have protected ourselves. We've also protected our families and our communities. In South Africa, as in most countries around the world, we are not yet ready to return to normal life because of this virus. For the second year in a row, we will again have to limit our interactions, particularly during the Easter period.
Oh boy, here we go.
This is so because we are still in the midst of this coronavirus pandemic. Over the last year, the country has recorded more than 1.5 million cases of coronavirus.
Why are you talking about it in years?
And there have been more than 52,000 recorded deaths from COVID-19.
You're trying to make it sound
We
worse than it is.
remember and mourn each of those lives that we have lost. As I reported when I last addressed you, South Africa has emerged from a second wave of infections. For the past 2 weeks, the number of new cases has remained relatively stable at around 1,200 new cases per day. The number of hospitalizations is declining. Our national recovery rate stands at slightly higher than 95%. This is thanks to the collective efforts of all South Africans who have abided by the restrictions that have been in place since March last year.
Nobody has.
To protect the lives of South Africans.
It's like you heard me.
It is also a testament to the high degree of vigilance we have continued to observe as a country with regards to monitoring, testing, contact tracing, and preventative measures. At the same time, our national vaccine program has commenced and will be gaining momentum.
Did anyone download the app? Let me
In the
know.
middle of February, we began phase 1 of our vaccination program, which involves the vaccination of health workers. This phase is on track to be completed within 3 months. More than 250,000 health workers have to date received the Johnson & Johnson vaccine as part of the Sisonke trial. We have secured 11 million doses of the Johnson & Johnson vaccine, which we know to be effective against the dominant variants in our country. We've secured a further 20 million doses and are finalizing this agreement with Johnson & Johnson. So you could say it's in the bag. We are also finalizing an agreement for 20 million doses of the Pfizer vaccine, which requires 2 doses. This supply of vaccines will provide us with enough doses to vaccinate 41 million South Africans or people. We will make further announcements once these negotiations have been concluded in relation to just finalizing and dotting every I and crossing every T.
You said you had the vaccines.
The agreements.
Why are you still negotiating?
We are also in various stages of negotiations with the manufacturers of other vaccines such as Sinovac, Sinopharm, and Sputnik V.
Oh, I'm not taking
Some of these
Sputnik.
manufacturers are
Sounds
in the final
Russian.
stages of the approval process for use of vaccines in South Africa. In addition to vaccine doses, we will receive directly through our agreements with manufacturers. We will also receive an allocation of vaccine doses through the African Union initiative that we established when we held the chairship of the African Union. Although there have been delays in securing vaccine supplies,
Because
we
you
are
didn't
still
pay
confident in achieving our vaccination targets.
in about 20
The
years.
demand for vaccines around the world has really become extremely competitive, but we are doing our very best to secure enough supply for the people of South Africa and the African continent. We have had to adapt to the changing nature of the virus and to emerging evidence about the effectiveness of different vaccines. We will ensure that we have sufficient doses of effective vaccines to reach population immunity in the shortest possible time.
Yeah, 20 years.
Phase 2 is scheduled to start in the middle of May. We believe that sufficient volumes from manufacturers will be arriving in the quantities as agreed in terms of our agreements with them.
What are the you didn't even, what?
Under phase 2, we hope to vaccinate
That's very vague.
more of our people over a 6-month period.
You're not giving numbers.
In line with international best practice, we will be prioritizing those at the highest risk of hospitalization and death, such as people over 60 and people living with comorbidities. The second phase of the
Your face is a
COVID-19
comorbidity.
vaccination program aims to ensure that we will protect our communities, prevent health services from being overwhelmed, and reduce the need for lockdowns that seriously disrupt education, the economy, and each one of our lives.
Okay. Reduce the need of lockdown.
Registration to be vaccinated is scheduled to start in April. People will be encouraged to register online, but those without online access will be able to register in person. To ensure that we have support infrastructure, over 2,000 vaccination sites
Is it me or does he seem
have
sick?
been identified across the country. These include community clinics, pharmacies, general practitioners' rooms, retail outlets, and in some instances, larger facilities like stadiums and conference centers where these vaccination points will be set up. An electronic vaccination data system has been established to manage the vaccination rollout and direct people towards vaccination sites closest to where they live. This system will allow us to register, receive an appointment date and site, and receive a digital certificate or a hard copy confirming your vaccination status once vaccinated.
Yeah, I trust the system.
Everyone
Not.
who will be vaccinated will have to be registered on the system first, and you will be invited to register once you become eligible.
Yeah, be careful of what you say.
We will work through provincial and district structures and community-based organizations to register those citizens who do not have access to technology. We're developing mechanisms to identify and register undocumented persons so that they too can be vaccinated. We remain committed to keeping the nation informed on every step in the vaccination rollout process.
2 seconds ago, you refused to give us a number on
If
how
there
many
will
people are
be
going to get
delays,
vaccinated.
people will be informed, and so we will be absolutely transparent.
You were
So
vague
that
2
there
seconds
is
ago.
never any doubt in anybody's mind
I have a lot of doubt.
about the process. As
Process
I've
sucks.
said in the past, this is the biggest and the most comprehensive process that we've ever had in the history of our country, where we'll be reaching more than 40 million people at one go. Yesterday, Deputy President David Mabuza, Minister of Health, Dr. Mkize, and Acting Minister in the Presidency, Ms. Nchaveni, and I visited the Aspen manufacturing plant in the Eastern Cape, which is involved in producing the Johnson & Johnson vaccines. We were well welcomed by Premier Mabuyane and his MECs.
I don't think he read the
Plant we
speech before
visited
he
is a
did
world-class
this.
vaccination manufacturing facility, which rates amongst the best in the world. This is a great achievement for South Africa, demonstrating our capabilities in advanced manufacturing. I wish to commend Aspen for having had the foresight to invest in this facility and for the speed with which they have gotten ready to begin production. More than half of the capacity of the plant, which will produce millions of doses a year, have been committed to Africa. Earlier this week, the African Vaccination Acquisition Task Team signed a procurement agreement on behalf of the African Union, member states, for 220 million doses of the Johnson & Johnson vaccine. It has an option for an additional 180 million for all the countries on our continent. This agreement is significant for our continent, not
And for
only
your pocket.
because it gives effect to our determination that no country should be left behind, but also because these vaccines will be produced right here on our continent. Greater collaboration between government, business, labor, and civil society is key to the success of the vaccine rollout. The private sector continues to play a key supporting role in the national effort. We are particularly encouraged by the commitment of the private healthcare sector to work with government to make the vaccine rollout a success, drawing on the immediate capabilities that we have developed in the sector.
You can send all this in email.
We are also grateful to numerous companies working through the Solidarity Fund to lend financial resources to the vaccine acquisition rollout. We want to commend the Vodacom Group and Vodafone Foundation, which have pledged 87 million rand in the African countries in which they operate for cold chain storage and the logistics for the COVID-19 vaccines to enable them to be delivered securely.
What's happening on Easter?
In addition, Vodacom will be developing a state-of-the-art vaccine management platform across the AU member states, following a successful rollout of the same platform here in South Africa. I do want to call on all our private sector partners to support this new phase in our fight against COVID-19. Fellow South Africans, in just a few days, the country will begin the annual Easter break. For many, this will be a welcome moment to pause and to rest, whether from work or from our studies and from the pressures of the last few months. Many of us have made plans for the upcoming long weekend. Some of us will be heading out of town. Others will be visiting friends and family. Many of us will be attending gatherings and celebrations in various places. For millions of people, this is also a time of religious observance. While the rate of transmission remains stable, we cannot let our guard down. This is a time when caution is needed more than ever. The reality is that greater movement of people, interprovincial travel, greater use of public transit and gatherings present a great risk of an increase in infections. Over the last few days, we have sought the advice of experts and consulted with representatives of provincial and local government on what measures should be put in place over the coming long weekend to prevent a new outbreak of infections.
Here we go.
As part of the consultation process, we've also included our traditional leaders. We have considered several factors, including the presentations by religious community leaders.
Just say it.
On precautionary measures they have put in place for the anticipated gatherings. And in this regard, I'd like to congratulate them because they have put in place a number of very impressive precautionary measures. Given the relatively low transmission levels, we have decided to keep the country on coronavirus alert level 1.
Oh, snap.
However, due to the specific circumstances of this period, we need to make a few adjustments.
Okay, 1.2.
Some of the measures that will remain unchanged are the following. The curfew will be maintained from midnight to 4 a.m., so there is no change.
Okay.
Public recreational spaces such as beaches, parks, and dams will remain open.
Interesting.
However, this will continue to be subject to the health protocols such as social distancing, mask wearing. Funerals remain restricted to a maximum of 100 and with a 2-hour limit on services. Interprovincial travel will still be permitted so people can travel between our provinces. However, I urge all South Africans to limit their travel as much as possible and to observe all necessary health protocols if they cannot avoid traveling.
People can
However,
travel.
given the role of alcohol in fueling reckless behavior,
Uh-oh.
we will put in place some restrictions over the Easter weekend. To this end, the sale of alcohol for off-site consumption will be prohibited this coming Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday.
Ouch.
Just those 4 days.
Just those 4 days. Just those.
On-site sales of alcohol at restaurants, shebeens, and bars will be allowed. But this will be according to licensing conditions and also to the limitations of time up to 11 at night.
Okay.
The Easter weekend is a time of spiritual significance, and attending religious services is important to millions of our people. For Christians, congregational worship is an important part of celebrating Easter. The Jewish community is currently celebrating Passover. The Muslim community will soon be starting the holy month of Ramadan. In recent weeks, we've held consultations with faith communities to find mutually beneficial solutions to the challenges of managing large crowds at religious services. Following this consultation, it has been determined and decided that religious gatherings over this period will be restricted to a total number of 250 people indoors and 500 outdoors.
It's not much of a change.
This is an increase of the numbers that we have currently.
Oh.
Where the venue is too small to accommodate these numbers with appropriate social distancing, then no more than 50% of the capacity of the venue may be used. Congregants should not gather outside their usual places of worship, and people must go home and not sleep over after services, which is what often happens in non-COVID times. I want to express once again my gratitude to the leadership of the faith community who have engaged positively with us as government. There is a common appreciation that we must do all we can to support our people to exercise their religious freedom and keep our country safe. With respect to other gatherings, these will also be restricted to a maximum number of 250 people indoors and 500 outdoors. As before, where the venue is too small to accommodate these numbers with appropriate social distancing, then no more than 50% of the capacity of the venue may be used. We continue to urge all South Africans to avoid gatherings if they are in a vulnerable group, such as the elderly and those with comorbidities. We also urge that gatherings should take place in outdoor venues, which are significantly safer than gatherings indoors.
Yeah, you banned the beaches.
We
like
will
a few
review
months ago.
these measures that I've just outlined on the size of gatherings within the next 15 days based on an assessment
Not much.
on the state of the pandemic and the extent of compliance with health protocols. We continue to follow the principle that restrictions should not be more severe than is necessary to contain the spread of the virus. And we continue to be guided by data on the epidemiological situation
Ooh, big word for
and
you.
by expert advice and wide consultation with social partners. So there are quite a number of safety measures and safeguards, if you like. We will closely monitor the situation and will respond swiftly to any signs of a resurge of the virus. So, fellow South Africans, this pandemic is still very much with us. We must act with caution, not just this coming weekend, but in the days and the weeks and months ahead. We do not know when the virus will be behind us,
Yes, if you
but
own the
we
alcohol
all
at your
know
place.
what must be done.
I'll do a
We know that wearing a mask in public at all times is very important and life-saving, and I'm pleased to say that wherever I go, I now see many of our people continuing to wear masks. This is commendable. And I
when you
also
make it
see that
illegal.
a number of our people continue to wash hands, and many places around the country have sanitizing spots where people can wash their hands. And we must continue to observe social distancing, and this is important to prevent the spread of the virus. And wherever we are, let us try and see if we are at a sufficient distance from the next person. And if possible, we must continue to avoid crowds, because these measures are still the most effective way
No,
of keeping the virus
as far
at
as I
bay.
understand.
There was a wonderful report the other day at an international broadcasting TV station where we said South Africa has been able to bring the level of infections down, largely because as a nation they have sought to observe all the health protocols that are being spread around the world. And I'd like to commend our people for continuing to observe these health protocols. They are important, and in a way they've become maybe second nature. We must see them as second nature. Any action that puts ourselves or others at risk must be avoided. The restrictions that are in place for our collective health and safety must be observed. Let us be a responsible nation that is forever aware of the presence of the virus. And let us remain at home wherever we can in small groups. Let us avoid being in large crowds and places with poor ventilation. And let us not go to funerals unless we are immediate family and not visit the homes of the bereaved.
Sorry.
We all have a role in this great national effort to end COVID-19. And let us play our part. At this time, when the Easter message of hope, rebirth, and renewal finds expression in the lives of so many of us, let us please take care. May God continue to bless our beautiful country, South Africa, and also protect her outstanding and amazing people. I thank you.
Okay, nobody go anywhere. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe. Yeah, I'm gonna quickly do a quick summary. So don't go anywhere. Please subscribe. If you're new to the channel, please give this video a like. And here are my thoughts. First off, it is absolute bull, absolute BS, absolute crap. Like, I feel like he didn't say anything. Because first he starts off like, oh no, I don't know why I'm doing that voice. First he starts off with like, no, numbers are fine, guys. We've been doing a good job. Numbers are fine, right? Then he makes you scared because he's like, yeah, but we got to be careful. We got to maintain this thing and COVID's still around, blah, blah, blah. Making it sound like he's going to put hard restrictions on, but then he doesn't. As a matter of fact, he eases a little bit of them, and he just gave us a whole spiel about how we need to be careful and we need to be observant and all that stuff. But yet, it's almost like you're telling a child, you see that volcano over there? If you jump into that volcano, you will burn and die. Now, I'm going to leave you here You're free to do what you want, but just know that that's a bit of a warning for you. You know what I mean? Like, it's almost like he's like, yeah, like, yeah, there's a bit of like restrictions on the gatherings and stuff like that. But I mean, there's no difference really. And you see what, and don't misunderstand me here. I'm glad that, besides the alcohol, things are more or less normal, and I use that word very loosely. Because obviously with the alcohol, we're not allowed to drink apparently, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. I think you can go, if I understand it, you can go to a wine farm or a bar, and you can have a drink there, but you must be out of there by 11 in the evening, and you have to abide by the COVID protocols. And if the venue, and according to COVID regulations, in terms of how the size of the venue, right? I just don't understand something. I don't understand why you make a big fuss. Why was there a need for fuss? You could have sent an email. You could have wrote this all out on your little newsletter that you put out every Monday. Hell, you could have told any news publication to tell us this. There was really nothing that you said that was of any importance, except for the alcohol thing, maybe. And even that was like weird. And you go out and you tell us about the vaccines and all that crap, which we all know is not going to happen. I'm sorry, guys. For any of you who think the vaccines are going to help you, they're really not. And it's not because I'm not bashing the vaccines here. Honestly, I don't care. We have seen so far how they have dealt with the vaccines. For those of you who may not know, they are not exactly administering the vaccines to a lot of people. They say, oh, it's 200 people that have been vaccinated. Big whoop. Big freaking whoop. At that rate, it's going to take 15 years to vaccinate 61% of the population. 15 years. 15. 1 5. 1 5. Okay? That's how long it's going to take at the current rate. All right? So him getting 30 million vaccines and all that stuff, I'm like, well, they'll probably expire by the time anyone gets to them. That's pretty much how it's going. I have no faith in the ANC or any garbage that they speak about. All right. That's number one. Number two, he gave us Easter. Let's be honest. He did give us Easter. We're allowed to see family. We're allowed, under strict conditions. The alcohol is really the only thing that some people might be a bit peeved off about. But don't be fooled, ladies and gentlemen. We are still under a lockdown. We are still being restricted. We are still being told how we should act, and we are being guilt tripped. Because let me put a bit of, okay, and I'm probably going to get banned for this, but let me share it with you. All right, here's my little conspiracy theory, because I've printed this a few times, and I'm no Nostradamus, but I've gotten it kind of right in the past. You want to know why he didn't shut things down in Easter? Because they want an excuse for a harsher lockdown. Because they know, even if they tried to implement a stricter lockdown, that people would go and they'd do the Easter thing anyway. And guess what? People are going to do it now. People are going to go out and party. People are going to do their thing. And guess what? People are going, they're going to say that the numbers are rising. The third wave is here. We got to shut everything down. This is what I suspect. This is my theory of what is going to happen. I'm not saying that is going to happen. That's my theory. It's a little bit of a conspiracy theory, but we kind of saw that over December. So there you go. Expect that, people. Expect that in, where are we? April? I would say May, if not sooner, we'll be in a harsher lockdown. So yeah, that's what's probably going to happen. So yeah, I don't even know. I don't even know what to say. Look, it is what it is, guys. It is what it is. Okay. How do you guys feel? Comment in the comment section below. Let me know how you feel about it. Look, And if anyone's watching this and thinks that I'm some kind of like, I don't know, conspiracy theorist or whatever, it's not that. I just don't trust the ANC. I really don't trust. They have messed up everything. Talking about a system, by the way, he's talking about this whole like, you got to register when you want to take the vaccine, and it's going to be on a system. For those of you who don't know, the SAP system that catalogs DNA evidence and catalogs firearm evidence and firearms in general in the police service in South Africa has been switched off since June of 2020. This is not fake news. It is real. I've been talking about it on this channel, and you want to trust the ANC with a system that's supposed to catalog vaccines and who's taking please, you can piss off. Okay. Only reason why I'm not taking it is because I don't trust the ANC. I don't trust your communist bull. I don't trust it. You can keep it. It's fine. Cyril, you know what you can do with my vaccine? I'll tell you what you can do. You can shove it in your eye. How about that? With love. I'll even administer the vaccine to you. How about that? Yeah, I would love to. And Cyril, if you ever see this clip, I'd like to have you on the show so I can cuck you out in person. Okay? That would be amazing. You'd be doing us. It would be great entertainment, I think. Do it for entertainment, Cyril. Do it for entertainment. Seeing as, you've destroyed the entertainment industry, tourism industry, every other industry pretty much is almost on its knees. So yeah. What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? What an utter waste of time. Like, that's the other thing. What an utter waste of time. I could have been doing so many things. I could have been writing jokes. I could have been working. I could have been spending time with my wife. I could have been doing anything else. What did he actually say? All he said was, hey, we're getting more vaccines, which will probably be expired, and don't do anything bad. Like, you can travel, but don't travel. Go see family, but don't go see family. You can go to churches and religious gatherings, but don't really do that. The only thing that you can't do freely really is buy or drink alcohol. There's a bit of a restriction there. Yeah. And if you're gonna gather, just don't gather as much. Like, please. That's basically how he was. That's basically how it was. What utter crap. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, while I still have some of you here, please don't go anywhere. At about 9 o'clock, so in less than an hour, I'm doing an auction and a giveaway here on this channel at 9 o'clock. I'm going to be giving away some prizes, and we're going to have an auction. So please join me again at 9 o'clock. We're not going to be talking about Cyril. I only talk about Cyril in uploads and on these kinds of chats. So we'll have some nice fun, nice banter, hopefully, and we'll talk amongst ourselves. So please join me for that. I will send you the name of the paint. You can even ask Yanni. He has the name of the paint as well. So yeah. Why don't your caps fit my... I don't know. They're supposed to be... dude, it's all size... Like, it's one of those rippy ones. It's... By the way, ladies and gentlemen, if you want this, rebelstoreZA.com, go check it out. It's how big is your head? Because it's one of these things that you kind of adjust. I mean, if this doesn't fit, like right now it fits my head and I've got headphones on. Like, your head must be humongous, dude. Bigger than Oba King's, and that's huge. That is huge. Right now, I love this hat more. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm going to wear this next. I should have been wearing... Next time the president addresses us, I'm wearing this hat. I don't know why I didn't wear it this time. I forgot. Things are falling apart. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to cut it there. Please join me at 9 p.m. for a nice chat, auction, and giveaway. I will see you then. Thank you for joining me. Sorry about the glitchiness at the beginning, but we got it sorted. So thank you Everybody who tuned in, thank you for, if there are new subscribers, thank you so much. Thank you all for tuning in and spending time with me during the president's speech. As always, I will try and stream his speeches whenever it is they happen. We'll keep an eye on this story as well. Ladies and gentlemen, thanks again. I'll see you at 9 p.m. But if I don't see you there, then stay safe, be kind to one another, and I'll see you at the next one. Cheers.